Good morning. Appreciate everybody being here. Excited, really excited to get going. You know, hard to believe this is my 7th season, but it's an exciting time. I think with each year, my appreciation for this team, for what goes into it, just the whole process of getting ready for the season, it grows. We know it's a real challenge, but that's what makes it exciting. You know, each team is so different. Each year is so different. You learn so many things throughout the years, and you know, try to use it to put your team in the best position to be successful. That's what I think excites me and our staff and our players about this year, this opportunity with this team, and we're really looking forward to it. Ready to get going.
Other than Devontae, is everybody available going into fall game?
Yeah, we are. Seems like each year, or was it Cole maybe 3 years ago, Landon, and now Devontae. You know, we take a big hit, but it is what it is. Our players know that. We have to have the mentality of the next man up. We feel for Devontae, you know, most, because I know the amount of work that he's put in to put himself in a position to be, you know, one of the guys, and certainly the guy with the most experience in the secondary, and he's so versatile. Just love Devontae and feel for him.
So all your freshmen are eligible and on campus too?
Yeah, John, best to, as of right now, until they tell me something different. Not holding anything back on you, that's for sure. Yeah.
Mark, this time last year you were confident because you had seen the guys working out in the off season and you weren't afraid to say it. How does this group compare now to what you saw last year, and how do you feel about it?
The same way. I feel good. I feel confident. It doesn't, you know, we know we have to go put in the work, but I really appreciate what they've done to get to this point. I mentioned this a few times throughout, you know, the talking season here, but it's true. You know, when we got back after the bowl win, and to see the team immediately after that game, you know, enjoyed it, and then you know, I start thinking about it before we get back to work there in January, you know, what needs to go into this year. Your mind starts racing and all those things, and I was just pleasantly surprised with the approach of this team. You know, I just feel like from the moment they got back on campus, I saw the hunger in their eyes, that they wanted to prove, you know, themselves and put themselves in a position to be successful. So I really appreciate the way they went about the winter. We've had a great spring, and this summer we've worked harder. You know, I've talked about that a lot as well, continuing to push the capacity, the ability to handle more and do more and be a more mature team. And, you know, they did an awful lot of work this year. And, you know, that's what's exciting, because sometimes we all focus on, you know, the things that we lose, and don't put enough focus on the things that we're returning. Because there are some very mature, good football players on this team, and there's a lot to build around, so that excites us.
Outside of Len, it seems like we don't know a ton back here about the wide receiver unit. Tell us a little about that.
Yeah, we need to step up there. You've heard me talk about that as well. I think you know, we have to get more production out of that position. I think Josh Ali is a guy that we're excited about. I think Josh has worked really hard. He has the ability to create some big plays. He has very good speed. I'm excited about Josh. Same with Isaiah Epps. Isaiah can run. He's got the top end that we're looking for. You know, he's got to continue to improve. I like the work that he's done. You know, and we'll see where that goes. Ahmad Wagner is another guy that created some plays last year for us, being the second year now in football after coming back off the basketball court. You know, Ahmad's got great size, and you know, so we need to get him going. Another guy, Bryce Oliver, who redshirted last year, that we have high hopes for as well.
Mark, you've chastised us many times before.
Come on now. Let's be friendly. It's the start of the year here.
About the importance of the running game,
Yeah.
and especially statistically winning that. Yet we have Coach Henshaw telling us that Harry's going to throw it 40 times a year.
Well,
40 times a game. That's not.
Yeah. I don't
That's not
think.
going to happen under your watch.
Well,
is it?
well, never chastise. You know, I like educate. You know, yeah. So, and you know, it is important. You've heard me, you know, tell you the statistics. You know, we do all the data, and you know, that's not going to change. You know, when you know, out rushing your opponent by 1 yard gives you a big advantage. You know, so playing good run defense and being able to run the ball is critically important. That's a proven fact, certainly in our league. But every year, and you've heard me talk about that this year, that every team is different. You know, you have to find the best way you can to help them win. If that is throwing the ball, however many times that is, if we have to do that to give us the best opportunity to win, then we'll do that. You know, we'll see how it plays out. And I think that's the point he was trying to make. And he's piggybacking my comments. That's what I've said. You know, whatever we need to do. Every team's different. We're a different football team this year than we were last year. We're going to be improved in certain areas and maybe not as good. But, you know, we're never going to give our kids an out. You know, we're always looking to continue to build and improve in all areas.
Mark, how improved will you be in the defensive front? How many guys do you anticipate playing on a regular basis there?
I feel good. I really do. I feel good about the defensive front. As I mentioned, you know, with just the interior guys, you know, it starts with Quentin, you know, going into his third year. He was really impressive in the spring. He's been, you guys have watched, and he's been a good football player for us, and he's made some good plays, and he's played a lot of ball in the first 2 years he was here. But I noticed a difference in him in the spring. He had another gear, and he's very explosive, and that's a good person to build around. So excited about him. Same with TJ. You know, it also when you heard me talk about the group, talk about this team, you know, they had a great example of some of the guys that left, of what it takes to be successful and what we're looking for. TJ, I think, is a great example of that. You know, he's a guy that's played a lot of football for us. And then you just see a different gear in him. You know, you see him, his approach, just that much more serious. And I think he learned that from Josh Allen. And TJ's a guy that has big, you know, he can do big things. And again, he's played a lot of ball. You know, and I just see a different guy. You know, Calvin Taylor is so big, and he's just one of those guys that's very unselfish. Nobody, you know, we rarely talk about him, but he does a lot of good things, and he's very, very big and very strong and very solid at the point of attack. And those are good guys. I think Phil Hoskins has a chance to really emerge. I'm looking for him to take it to the next step. Marquand, you know, is a guy with unbelievably talented, so big, he's so quick and sudden. It'd be good to get him going. Cordell Looney showed some flashes last year. So those are 6 guys right there. And then we got Davion Hawkins, Ebule, and Isaiah Gibson, all, you know, that are working for time as well. So we feel like we're pretty deep there.
Mark, what is your plans for Josh Haskell? Josh Haskell.
Josh Pascal, we're moving him back to Jack. So, you know, Jordan Wright had a little setback. He should be good. He's cleared to practice today. He's no contact for a few days, but he had a little setback in the summer. And, you know, as you know, we're actually very deep at that position. It's just inexperienced. And we have a lot of good, talented guys there that we're excited about. But with Josh, I think, you know, he gives us the ability to move him back there. Now, all of a sudden, you move Boogie back to Sam, you move Josh to Jack, and all of a sudden your front seven is pretty darn big and pretty physical. So I like that combination. Josh is very versatile. He was going to play, depending on whether we're in 3-4 schemes or 4-3, he'd play some of that anyway. You know, it's just semantics of how we get there. But we are going to start him there back at Jack, at outside backer, where he started. You know, where he played quite a bit as a true freshman.
Mark, when you guys found yourselves mining the free agent quarterback market, what about Sawyer Smith's film? What impressed you about it?
Well, just the fact that he's played in big games and he has that experience and he's very poised and he could throw the ball. And, you know, as you know, we needed somebody to come in and give us an opportunity to groom the young guys until we can get moving. And I just was impressed with Sawyer. I like everything about him. I like the way he played, but I love the way he handled himself. I like the way he's done everything to get to this point. He's done a lot of work, and he's here, and he's up there grinding and ready to go.
Speaking of quarterbacks, how has Terry improved from the Penn State game to now?
Yeah, I'm excited about Terry. You know, if you know, just offensively in general, you know, we got a lot of good things to build around. Terry's a guy, obviously, that started every game, won 10 games for us last year. I think it starts with him fundamentally. You guys hear me talk a lot about that, and I know it gets boring at times, but it's so true. I mean, it's a fundamental game. If you just watch him, and he had an opportunity to watch every throw he made last year, and if you just look at fundamentals, there's a lot of things, you know, that he can do better. There's a lot of yards we left on the field. He sees that, but it's hard. It's easier said than done. That's why everybody can be an armchair quarterback, right? But, you know, he's got a lot coming at him. But, you know, so he's really worked hard. Appreciate his effort. You know, Coach Henshaw's worked hard with him. He had a good, solid spring. And I think it starts there. But obviously then it goes to the concepts and him understanding second year in the offense. You know, that's a big deal, where to go, the reads, and how quick to get off the reads and go to the next one and so on. And then the speed of the game, you know, the confidence for him to play and know that he won 10 games in the SEC and won a New Year's Day bowl game. It's got to give him a lot of confidence going into this year. And then, you know, you build around, and Lynn, you know, we're so excited about Lynn Bowden. You know, Lynn, we have to find ways to make sure we get him the football. He's a difference maker. He's a guy that changes the digits on the scoreboard. You know, he's a playmaker and can make things happen. So we got to make sure we continue to get him the football, build around a physical offensive line. You know, Benny, everybody knows, you know, what Benny did for us, but he also set the tone for these backs. You know, they had an opportunity to sit there and watch him, and, you know, what's most impressive about Benny was his mentality and how tough he was and determined he was to help his team win. These guys had an opportunity to see that, and they have a lot of talent. So I'm excited. I feel like there's a lot to build on there.
Mark, it seems like some of these transfer waiver decisions at other schools have started to trickle out in the last week or so. Do you have a time frame for when you might hear those waivers, and how do you deal with them in practice while he's kind of?
Yeah, I really don't. You know, I'm unsure when. We've actually, you know, we had to do quite a bit of legwork to get everything updated and all the information we needed for the appeal. So I don't know when that'll happen, and we'll just continue to work with him, you know, like anybody else. I mean, obviously he can't take first team reps right now until we figure that out.
What can he bring to the table, whether it's this year or next year?
Well, again, he's a physical guy. He's got all the talent. You know, he's got the ability to be a pass rusher. He's good on his feet. He can do a lot of things. He's really what you're looking for, is your prototypical outside linebacker. So, you know, whenever that time comes, you know, we'll work. You know, we'll be ready to go. I don't know when that'll happen. You know, it's just, you know, to us, he's just like a freshman. You know, it's unknown, and we know physically he has all the ability, and we're excited to work with him.
Mark, I hear you speaking so confidently up there. Any head coach in their right mind would be underselling their team this year based on the number of people that they lost. What is it about you that makes you just don't like this?
We're not interested in going back, and that's just, you know, we're not here to take steps backwards, and we're not. You know, we're continuing to grow. We're continuing to improve the program. And, you know, that's not just coach speak when I say those things. You know, the outcome will take care of itself. I know I'm judged ultimately on wins and losses, but internally we're judged on how we're building our program and what we're doing to continue to grow and put ourselves in a position to be successful, because that's what it's all about. You could go back 7 years and hear me basically saying the same message, that you know, we're going to work hard to do the things necessary that we believe are going to help us be successful. We're not going to waver from that. You always learn. You know, we're in a learning environment. We try to learn and grow every day, and but you also, you know, have to stick to your beliefs, and the things that you know are helpful to help you be successful and win games.
You mentioned Devontae's injury off the top, but what about that position makes it difficult for inexperienced guys to pick up?
Yeah, it's one of those positions, you've heard me for many years, and it's true. You know, there's certain positions, hey, let's face it, experience is important in all of those positions, right? Everywhere, every sport. Experience is important. I think certain certain positions, you have to have experience and instinct. And I think that's one of those positions. Where you're talking about Devontae, for us, he was able to play nickel, strong, or free, or dime, any of the inside positions. And that really helps us because he understands, all the nuances just from playing the other side. For instance, if he had to go to the dime, he knows what the nickel does. It's opposite. Strong safety, free safety. He was so versatile, and he also was a great cover guy. And the other thing that DeMonte, he was one of our best tacklers, and is when he comes back. He's a good tackler, and so it's going to be missed. But you've heard me talk about outside linebacker. I think safety, nickels, a lot the same. I think you need to have the experience, but you also have to have some good instincts.
A lot of those candidates you're going to be kind of trying out at those positions were all 4-star talent, so there's plenty of talent there. But do you try to pigeonhole each one into a different spot, or do you try not to?
No, we got a lot to do with those guys. We got a lot of work to do. Coach Klink and I and Coach Hood, and figuring it out. So we've got to just get out there and play and, get them as much experience as we can, and moving them around and just seeing what our best 11 are.
Coach, how's Coach Slarman doing?
Yeah, Coach.
I've been through that.
Yeah, well, good for you that you seem like you're doing good. Prayers for you.
13 years of it.
Well, good. I'm glad you're doing well.
I know what he's going through. He's very young to go through that.
John's doing very good. I don't want to speak for him. Y'all get an opportunity to talk with him, and he could share what he wants. But it's the same as you've heard me talk publicly before. John is just an absolute warrior. Still can't chase him out of the office. He's there every day. Never misses work unless he's on a treatment. And he's getting treatment, and things are going good. And we're just still praying for him.
He's done a heck of a job at the offensive line down to the
He's
years.
done a great job with him for a lot of years, and I'm excited about this group he has this year.
I think he kind of sort of answered it, but you signed quite a few DBs in the last class. So Devontae's injury, does that shift anything that?
It does, and we could talk more about this, as we progress through practice, because there's a lot of unknowns. I do the same thing. I do the same thing with our staff. We're sitting there talking about guys, and we're like, shoot, we don't know yet. Just got to get out there and work with them. So I'm not breaking any rules. I'm not out there working with them in the summer. I'm not allowed to. So I have to just wait and see. But I am excited about those guys. I think there's a lot of ability there, and we need them. We need them to be players.
Mark, with this group of running backs, where do you see Benny's influence really paying off? Physically, is it just the mentality that they have?
I think, in many ways, but I think most important would be his mentality and, how competitive Benny was and intelligent, because there's times when a running back, needs to rely on his God-given ability and his instincts and make cuts and do things that are between he and God. And then there's other times when he has to understand exactly what's going on and what the situation of the game is and how to get those tough yards, where the holes are going to be. Understand that a 2 or 3 yard run in certain cases are every bit as big as ripping a long one off. And I think that intelligence, helped us win a lot of games in 4-minute, offense. And you guys have seen it through the years. It's so important when, everybody in the stadium knows he's getting the ball and he still gets first downs. Those are big. And again, that credits to the offensive line of Coach Slarman and getting a hat on a hat and blocking everybody up, and the backs understanding that tough yards and 3 and 4 and 5 yard runs are critically important depending on the situation of the game. And that's where, football IQ is so important on both sides. Understanding 4-minute defense, 2-minute defense, 4-minute offense, 2-minute, 2 minutes, so on. You know what I'm saying? But that intelligence in football IQ is critically important to winning games. We're in a lot of close games. You all know that, and we all have to be intelligent and to include into that.
Mark, how much of that confidence that you were asked about earlier stems from you bring back a really good, experienced offensive line, and that's kind of the base of what you can do?
Without a doubt, it's again, day one press conference. I don't know what I said, but I'm sure it was built around being good at the line of scrimmage. You know, it's a line of scrimmage game. You better be good in the offensive line. You better be good in the defensive line. I mean, sure, we all know we want to be good at all positions. You have to be to win at the highest level. But if you're not physical, you don't have much of a chance. You know, all in all. You know what I mean? Just put, you know, throw it all in a bucket and, you know, come out at the end. I don't like our chances if you're not physical.
Mark,
How do you feel about
segueing off of the offensive
Mhm.
line,
Mhm.
you know who started, most of them talked about. Guys like, Lewis,
Nick Lewis.
Quentin Wilson, talk about those.
Quentin
two
Wilson,
guys.
Nasir. Yeah, those guys are all good players. Really fired up about those guys. Nick has to continue to work hard. He's an awfully big man to get in great shape. But Nick made some strides, and we're excited about him. Nasir, we look at really as the third, you know, as a starter. Nasir can, very, very good player, can play left or right tackle. Quentin Wilson, we're very excited about him. Very intelligent, very athletic for a center. We're in a great position there. He has an opportunity to learn from Drake. Drake does such a good job for us, and Quentin's going to be a heck of a player, so we feel good about those guys.
Going against the ball handling makes it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They had their hands full in the spring.
How do you feel about the tight end position?
I feel good. I really do. Justin Rigg is a guy that's big and physical, and he's got soft hands. So, you know, excited about him getting the opportunity. CJ's been such a mainstay for us for so long. So to see Justin get that opportunity will be exciting. Brendan Bates, another good player, we'll get an opportunity to see him. Keaton Upshaw, we're all kind of mesmerized by him. I mean, he's what you're hunting. You know, he's first off the bus. Yeah.
Mark, with Cash's off-season confidence in some of his quotes and all like that, is that good for the team? Is something you like, or do you sometimes cringe when you see what he says and say easy?
I think, you know, if you guys study and understand me, that I try to play things pretty straight up, pretty, you know, I don't give you a lot of talking points, but I also like them to be them. You know, and I am who I am. That's just who I am. It's not that, you know, I try not to go out there and make outlandish statements and things of that nature. And but with our players, as long as they're coming from the right spot, I'm good with it. You know, one thing I can't stand is false confidence. You know, guys that run around and beat their chest when they haven't done the work. That I can't tolerate that. But guys that have proven themselves, done the work, know what it takes, and are coming from the right place, I'm good with them being them.
Mark, Jordan Griffin's a guy you've been high on since he got here as potential. Just how has he progressed over these 3 years, and what do you need to see from him to
Yeah,
take over his team?
this is going to be a big opportunity for him. We need him to be a great player. And Jordan's got a lot of experience. He's played everything for us. He's really played, you know, both corner spots. He's played everything inside. He's played it all, and he has good experience, and he's versatile, and we need Jordan to have a really big year. So I'm excited for him in this opportunity for him.
Mark, you were part of the resurgence down at Florida State when they had kind of stagned from where they ordinarily were. Were there any lessons you learned coming in, looking back at what happened there, that's helping you now? You talked about nobody wants to move back.
Mm-hmm.
So is there anything there you brought here?
I think there's many things that I do now that I learned there from Jimbo and working there and other coaches I've been from. I can't think of anything that I could just pull right out right now. I mean, but, you know, I'm constantly trying to learn and grow and grab things that I like from certain people. And, you know, with Jimbo and when I was there, you know, I just appreciated the mentality that we had. You know, there was a fun group to coach defensively, and the mentality that they had to be dominant and to be great, and the consistency that we had. That's what we're looking for.
Mark, do you have an opinion on the alcohol sales, and did Mitch seek out your opinion during the process?
Yeah, I really, as I mentioned before, the only thing I'll say is I have great confidence in the leadership in Dr. Capilouto, Mitch Barnhart, in their decisions. I don't, it's above my pay grade, so I don't put a lot of thought into that because it's just not my job. But I trust them. I believe in their leadership, and those are hard decisions. I think there's strong opinions on both sides, and you know, they obviously put a lot of thought into it, and there's a lot for them to consider. And I know, you know, I'll just say it's just hard. You know, I know going to that funeral a year ago was very difficult for me and our team as well. And you know, anything that revolved with, you know, around the game, and drinking, and have an accident like that happen was very heartfelt for me personally, and the team. But Mitch and Dr. Capilouto I have a lot of confidence in, and I'm sure they thought things through, and they're doing the very best they can. I know that. And they, you know, I could promise you that I don't want any reason or any excuse for there not to be a fantastic atmosphere right out here in the stadium in Kroger Field here this year. We have a very good football team that's worked very hard. We're proud of the work that we've done to this point, and we're very excited about the future, and greatly appreciate the fan support. We truly have the best fans in the country, and there's nothing better than when we walk out there and we see that full stadium, and we need it that way every week. That's, you know, my plea to the fans is we need it. That it takes all of us all the time, and we need that support. We need that place rocking. It makes a difference. It makes a difference with recruiting. It makes a difference with our team, and we're all part of that.
Mark, when you all recruited Logan Stenberg, did you know what you were getting? Did you know he was good?
We knew the characteristics they had. We knew he was a tough guy and physical guy, and that's what he is. And you know, when you work as hard as he works and put the time in and are dedicated like he is, and you have that type of mentality, you're going to have some success. So we knew that part of it.
Why was he so under the radar? You look at his offers; they weren't.
I don't know. We have a lot of those guys, as you know. We have to. That's our job, and we have to find the right guys with the right mentality that can come in here and do the things that we're looking for.
Mark, take a big segue off of that Alabama situation. You got Kavase smoke, but you haven't mentioned Allen Daly.
Yeah, I mentioned Allie at the because somebody pointed out the two, you know, Logan and Cavassier, and I pointed out Lee Allen. Yeah, I did, and I said I'm excited about him as well. Today I didn't, but at SEC Media Days I did. But Allen is another guy that you heard me talk about a year ago as a freshman that kind of was really peaking, and then kind of hit a little bit of a freshman wall there. And it gets hard, you know, you put so much in throughout the year, but we're still very excited about Allen, and I think he's going to have a great career.
Hey, folks, I'm sorry, folks, we've got to get.
Go ahead.
Did Nick Scalzo, is he coming along?
Yeah, he's coming along all right. Yeah, we'll see. I haven't seen him practice yet. That'll be today. But his knee's doing good. He's worked really hard, and he's in position to.
He's a player, isn't he?
Yeah, he definitely is. Yep, that was evident with his tape and his winning, and same with Monty. You know, those guys are winners, and we're excited to see him throw the ball.
Coach, what about a Kentucky kid, Mason Wolf, on the offensive line in his role?
Yeah, and Mason's another one. I'm glad you brought him up because Mason's a guy that will be in the rotation this year. He'll be out there playing. He'll be contributing, and he's a guy that's just constantly doing his work, getting better, taking that medicine that you hear me talking about so much, and connecting the dots. And there's another perfect example because he will contribute, he will play, and he's a good football player, and I appreciate the work that he's done to get him in this position.
Coach, this time last year you talked about Cash Daniel coming into his junior year and what role you needed him to step up into. Coming into the senior year without Josh Allen, how has that role kind of progressed, and what do you think that Cash needs to do in this season?
Yeah, I think, you know, Cash just needs to be Cash, and you know, he's authentic, and you know, we don't need to create anything there. I just need him to continue to be him, and that starts with being accountable on the field, you know, and doing, you know, on and off the field, but just, you know, being a team player like he is. He's very passionate. He cares about winning first and foremost. I think that's obvious to our team. So he's a great leader, and he's authentic, and we'll continue to rely on him.
Okay, folks.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yep. I have Coach Crane in here momentarily.